Hello, hello, hello. Today is the 18th of June, and that time has come again to hear from Norm Winski with his upcoming change in trend dates for stocks and commodities. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you for having me on your show. I was last on, I believe, on the 18th of May. That was a Thursday. And I gave the following forecast, and we're going to review those, see how it all came out. So we had, now when you see on the notes there, AC, that's after the close, so that's overnight. So we look to if for a possible opportunity on the next day's opening. So 517, May 17th, after the close, we had Jupiter 90 degrees of Pluto. And we're looking for cattle, cocoa, copper, cotton, hogs, T-bonds. Then the morning of the 19th, or the new moon in the sign of Taurus, and so we round up the usual suspects: financials, grain, precious metals, and because it was in Taurus, we also were looking at cattle and cotton. Then at the night of the 19th into that's a Friday weekend. So then we're looking at over the weekend into Monday's opening, the 22nd, geocentric from the point of view of Earth. Mars entered Leo, and we'll be looking at corn and gold. And then also that weekend we had Saturn to the U.S. chart, being based on where the planets were when the country was founded on the 4th of July, 1776. Anytime we have that, we look at stocks, T bonds, and dollar. So here's our first chart. Here's corn. We had 2 points for corn. We had the new moon and the Mars point. There's yeah, I got it right, new moon. And the new moon there on the morning of the 19th. And that was very close to a nice low there, as you can see. That's been a low for several weeks. Then it just but it went sideways for a day into our Martian point there for the opening 22nd. So we took a pass on that. That's yellow. Green is good, yellow is a pass, and red is not good. So here's beans, just kept going down. So that's they kept they went down and sideways. So you wouldn't have lost a lot of money, but you wouldn't have made any money. That gets a red arrow for miss. And we had wheat that did pretty much the same as soybeans, as you can see. So that's a red arrow. And the cattle was much better. We had that point there was that we allow 1 day. If I'm within 1 day of a good turn and not too far in price, then we get a green arrow for a winner. And there we go there. And then we had a top there on the second green arrow. And so that's 2 good points for cattle. Cotton was excellent, as you can see here, the day before that high there and that day of the high we had. And then the market had a big down, and cotton is a beast. Every penny is $500. Had you held for the big move there, that would have been about 8 cents, which is $4,000. Cocoa was going sideways, so we took a pass. Hogs has kept going down, so that's a miss. Copper was a nice short-term top there, as you can see, on the Jupiter-Pluto thing on the night of the 17th and the 18th. Here's silver on the moon. It made a nice little short-term bottom there. We had 2 points for gold, the moon right there, and Mars right there. So you had a low and a high. And here's the S&P. We had 4 points for the S&P. You saw at the beginning of the notes, the stock market tends to potentially respond to all these points versus commodities, only certain planets and signs. So the S&P had all 4 points. You're the day before a high, there's the high, and there's the day after the highs. We got 4 points there for the S&P. Bonds, we had 3 points for the bonds, and none of those worked. They just kept going down. Here's the moon for the US dollar. Here's the moon. It made a little short-term top there. Made a short-term low for the Aussie dollar. Made a short-term low for the British pound. Didn't go anywhere for the Canadian dollar, so that's a miss. Made a short-term low for the euro and a short-term low for the yen. And the Swiss franc made a nice short-term low there on the moon. So if you add up the green arrows and red arrows, we have 19 winners, 7 misses out of 26 for 73.08%. I'd like to mention that this stuff, you might be looking at this stuff and thinking, you could never do this, it's too complicated, but it's not really. Nothing I'm doing is over a fifth grade level. You have to learn some new terms and get you going here in a few days. Here's something I did not show you in advance, but I have witnesses. I think Jeff might testify that he's seen this before. I do this chart every month, this blue line chart, and then I overlay the black prices on top and show you that see how it's going. See here here's a point here. This is for May. There's May 1st through June 2nd. And we were looking for a turn there on Mercury 0 south latitude. And we had that low there. You can look these up. They're on the internet. Full moon lunar eclipse right there was at the top. And you have it down here for a low on Mercury turning direct right there. And then you had a new moon right there, and so forth. And then we had a top here on Mars aphelion. It was pretty good for most of them. The train went off the tracks here for the last 3 days, so that's out of about 24 trading days. All right, so then we're moving ahead here now. Here's what's coming up this weekend. We're doing this on Sunday afternoon, the 18th. Over this weekend and into Monday's a holiday, tomorrow's a holiday, so we'll be looking for possibly something on Tuesday's opening, the 20th. Saturn over this weekend is in Pisces, turning retrograde. That's a possible change in trend for coffee and oil. We have a new moon, so that's financials, grains, precious metals. And then we also have Jupiter to the U.S. chart, stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar, and Mercury 0 latitude, which we on that chart I showed you, that was 0 south latitude. Now Mercury, the night of the 22nd, will be 0 north latitude. So that's your grains, corn, soybeans, wheat. Now I have an oil chart here because I did not I didn't review any oil from the last forecast. But oil is on the list here for coming up this weekend. And you notice here that the oil has been going up. That's what we're looking for. Markets that are trending in one direction or another and strongly and closing either strongly up or down into this weekend. That's where you have a possible change in trend coming on Tuesday's opening. Unfortunately, the S&P looked really good until we got to Friday, and then it sold off and had a down day. It wasn't a big down day, but it still possibly took some of the wind out of the sails on a possible reversal on Tuesday. Maybe we'll make a low, but the bigger the extreme, the better. Okay, moving ahead here now. I've been doing this a long time, so I think I have some experience. About 50 years as a 45 or more as a professional. Started in college trading based on this astrology. Made enough money to buy a membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. In 1975, I was on the floor there trading my own money successfully over a 12-year period. Also traded on the Chicago Board of Trade. During that time, I tried to learn everything I could about anything. And I studied GAN, Elliott Wave, astrophysics, astrology, music, harmonics, all kinds of things. If you have any questions about any of these methodologies, I may be able to help you. And looking forward to helping some of the folks there. I'll be here all day today and all day tomorrow. Get a hold of me as soon as possible if you're interested. If you'd like any help with any of this, I'm located in beautiful Naples, Florida at 239-216-2578, or you can email me at nwinski@yahoo.com or Skype NWINSK_1. Looking forward to helping some of the folks, Jeff. Everybody have a great weekend.
Well, you have a great weekend too, and thanks for another winning month. And we'll see you back pretty soon, Norm.